Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Hello, Mary Elizabeth. Welcome to August, and a lot of comedy clubs have a brick wall. We just have a door, we have a doorknob and a key, and I think it's unlocked. So come on in. Yes, we're on the terrace again. I live in a penthouse, and and we have a very nice Let me see if I could very nice view of a tree there. But you're not here to see trees. You're here to see us. So anyway, I haven't seen. We haven't done a show in a while. It's been a very busy month.
Yes, I've been really busy with play rehearsals and everything else.
Play
Yeah, I
rehearsals.
went on a beach vacation last week.
Oh, you went to the beach.
It was great. It was fun.
I gotta hear all about the beach.
Yeah.
Tell me. Well, let's get. I couldn't understand why I couldn't get this closer, and the reason why my foot was in the way. I need a smaller foot.
Yeah.
I need to bind my feet like the Chinese women used to do
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
So tell me about the beach. Yeah, I hope you didn't get stung by a jellyfish or anything.
No, I didn't.
Now, what'd you do there?
We went out for lunch, and then
You were there one afternoon?
yeah, I was there for like 2 days.
Oh, 2 days. So I hope you had more than one lunch.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it wasn't some sort of boot camp where they make you only eat one lunch.
Yeah. And I drank some wine.
You drank wine.
It was good.
Oh, I forgot what that tastes like. I used to drink wine all the time. That used to be my drink.
And then I hung out and looked at the ocean and stuff. So.
Okay. Did you see? What did you see in the ocean? Did you see any like dolphins or anything, or
I
whales?
saw ducks swimming.
Ducks. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I know a guy who wouldn't eat seafood, and he wouldn't eat duck. I said, but duck is foul. It's not poultry. It's not seafood. He goes, it's on the water, and it swims in the water. It's seafood. I said, wait a minute. A duck doesn't swim. It kind of floats.
I had some oysters when I was there.
Oysters. Now, did you cook the oysters? Did you eat them raw? What'd you do?
I ate a raw at a restaurant. It was great.
That scares
They
me.
gave me this big bowl of them,
Yeah.
and I got like 6 of them. They're really good.
And you scarfed down all 6 of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, did you put any like butter sauce or tomato sauce or any barbecue sauce?
I dipped them on some kind of vinegar sauce.
Vinegar sauce.
Yeah, it was really
good. There's a joke about how real tough people eat oysters. And you ever see what an oyster looks like? It's a shell. It looks like somebody spit right into it. There he is. So anyway, but then what's weird is people put all this sauce on it. And the first rule is, they put butter on it, they put the Tabasco sauce on it, they put Paul Newman salad dressing, they put everything on it. The trick is, it's not supposed to taste like an oyster. It's supposed to taste like what you put on it. The oyster is, I used to, when I was in college, and the hijinks and the frat parties, and we ate a lot of raw oysters. And the first time I ever had a raw oyster was then. And I don't think I want to eat those anymore. I'll eat them cooked,
Yeah.
But unless I was really hungry. I mean, do oysters have a face? They're just a thing, I think. They're just a muscle, I think. There is mussels. I've eaten those.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, mussels are like mussels. But mussels usually cooked. I don't tend to eat that raw. Now, did you open the oysters yourself, or or were they shucked before you got to
They
them?
were already shucked.
So, but basically, you just had to pick them up and eat them.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, like a periwinkle. They have a lot of zinc in them. They're supposed to be good for you,
Yeah.
or we thought they were good for you. But compared to all the beer you're drinking while you're eating it, I can't imagine that offset itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, the oysters. Did you now? I've never really had oysters in a restaurant. Do they? I've only eaten them like at clam bakes and stuff like that on the beach and stuff. Did they come with any like potatoes or anything or green beans or anything?
They just came with salsas. It was just an appetizer.
Oh, okay. Well, then there was actually a the real food came out. What
Well,
was the real food?
I did get a sheep crab soup. That was really good.
Oh, the soup. Okay. All
That was
right.
really good.
Sheep crab soup. Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. I, I got to tell you something. I About food. Since this is how I used to eat up until just last year, or just maybe even just recently. What happened was I would eat. Okay, I would kind of watch what I was eating, and I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And then I'd go home to visit my family, and I would eat what they had, and they had all the good food. I had all the nutritious, healthy food, and they had all the good food.
Yeah.
So I was eating stuff like for example, I would eat the natural organic cookies, store brand sometimes. My my parents would have the Chips Ahoy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, given the choice, you're going to take the Chips Ahoy. The what else? So I was, and then at home I wouldn't eat bread, but then when I went there, I'd make a sandwich and start eating bread. So so now, sadly, since it's just me and other people, but not my parents, I am eat. I have to buy the food, and I'm buying really not any good tasting food, all the healthy food. So now I have no excuse to eat the Chips Ahoy cookies and the stuff. Famous Amos Cookies just died last week. So now, but there's a good. It actually works out well because now I'm eating just all the time healthy food, and I've lost I think about at least 10 pounds in the last couple of months. So that. I mean, that losing weight, you can never be too rich or too thin. So
Yeah.
so I'm doing fine. But anyway, I got some candy bars, and you ever eat like protein bars,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Cliff bars or Luna bars? A lot of people hiking will eat them to
Oh,
give them
yeah.
some energy. They have a lot of protein in them.
Oh, yeah.
You like? Do they taste good?
Yeah, they taste pretty good. Yeah.
They can taste good, and there's no reason why it shouldn't taste good. But they have a lot of soy protein, peanuts, a lot of almond butter. They put all the stuff in for protein. But let me tell you something. They don't they don't taste like Snickers bars. They don't taste like Milky Way bars. They don't taste like M&Ms. And what they taste like is, and I always joke, they taste like 2-year-old Halloween candy. Now, and chances are, if it tastes good, that means there's a lot of sugar in it, a lot of chocolate in it, a lot of And if it tastes good, I always kind of suspect. A healthy bar shouldn't taste this good. It should taste kind of awful.
Yeah.
But anyway, I bought a whole bunch of health bars. Okay, and they also had these other candy bars. Now these aren't health bars, so I'll give you a choice. I don't know if you ever had this bar before, but it's called Lar Bar. It actually has
I've
a
seen them before.
yeah. You see them, but you probably never. It just has. Let me show you what they look like. You can tell by the price on them, for $4. Why I bought them. Candy bars are like $1 now, $1.50. Used to be you only spent that much on you only spent $1.50 on a candy bar if you're in a hotel lobby or vending machine. This has no artificial sweeteners, gluten-free, plant-based, dairy-free, vegan. We'll have now. You have a choice here: peanut butter chocolate chip or chocolate chip cookie dough. Which would be the one you want?
Peanut butter chocolate chip.
Peanut butter chocolate chip. Okay, we'll save this news for another day. We'll take it from me. You probably won't finish this. I brought one to the movie theater. Oh, I shouldn't have told anyone that. Melted in my pocket. Now, this thing, I'll show you what it looks like. It doesn't look like a real candy bar. It's not in sections. It has a whole bunch of guts to it. You wanted by the police? Why is this siren going on? So this is peanut butter chocolate chip. I'll break it in half. I'll give you the bigger piece. Now let's enjoy this delicious candy.
I like
Good.
it. I'd try the other one too.
We'll try the other one some other time. I can't eat but this much of this. It's actually tastes better than the last time I had it. But I was eating this in a movie theater while I was watching, the Tornado Twisters or something, whatever movie I was in, the Deadpool movie. You want to drink something with this? Oh, tomorrow. No. And don't you forget it.
Yes.
There's more on your dress than there is. All right. Do you like it? Okay. Well, it's a very simple bar. No. So. What exciting podcast. Hey, I got to tell you about a podcast I saw. We have a fan, and he made a couple of videos about the show,
Oh yeah.
and they took our jokes and our laughter and just probably I don't know if they were the funniest, but they it's about 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, and it strung them all together and put a laugh track to them. They had you laughing, but they had me laughing, but they also had, I'm not kidding you, they had Kamala Harris laughing. They had the Joker from Batman and Caesar Romero laughing. It was hilarious, and I put it up on I put them all up on my social media. So I'm telling people to see that because it's very funny, and we look great, and it's very funny. And I guess sooner or later they're going to make a parody a video of us because we're getting more popular all the time. So that's good. And I mentioned Kamala Harris. She got the nomination this week. I think since we did a show, Senior Biden retired from being president. He's still president for the moment, but you know what he should have done? He should have quit. So then Kamala would be sworn in as president. So now she would be the incumbent going into the election, and it's very hard for the incumbent to lose. And if she did lose, she'd only be president for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
That'd be shorter. That'd be almost as short as William Henry Harrison, only president for a month. And so Kamala, and she picked a guy called Tim Waltz, and dancing the Harris Waltz. So, what do you think of? Do you think that Kamala? Would you vote for her? Would you? I like her. I like her.
Definitely.
You vote for her? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that America's ready for a woman president?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't think it matters
I don't
anymore.
think it matters anymore.
There was a time, like when I was in school, we didn't like women politicians. We didn't like non-white men. I mean, your congressman was a white man. There weren't even any Jewish men or Indian men. Now you have, people like that running for president, which I think is good. America should be for everybody.
Yeah.
There's only one rule to be president, and that is you have to be 35 years old and born in America. They're usually a lot older. They're usually about 50, at least 50. These people. So yeah, and I think to say that everybody but white men should be president is discriminating.
Yeah.
The time has come. We should have a lot of countries have had female presidents. Um, Very few countries other than African countries have not had um uh, non. I mean, like France or England, they've never had a non-white president. Although I think England has had an Indian president, a prime minister last time, a Tory. Get his name, but he's not the guy now.
Yeah.
But France has never had one. France had a Jewish president, believe it or not, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But America has had a black president, Barack Obama, and now we will be getting another black, a female president. Hillary ran. A lot of them run. I remember a woman when I was a kid, Shirley Chisholm. She ran for president, but she didn't go very far. But people liked her though. She seemed like a nice woman, the congresswoman.
Yeah.
Time had come. Now now I think I used to have a woman congresswoman, and she was fun.
Yeah.
Virginia was the first state to have a black governor. Now there's plenty of black governors. We still never had a woman governor. So Virginia is like the rest is like America. None blacks, but no women. It may change
Yeah.
coming up. So anyway, I'm just hoping that the there was a guy running for president, Kennedy, and I went to I went to the bookstore and one of those independent bookstores, and Robert Kennedy, and he just I think today is bowing out of the presidency. But I got these Kennedy buttons. That shows you how important they are. I dropped them.
Yeah.
Kennedy for president. Now I could have worn this in 1960, 1960,
Yeah.
or I could have worn this when Teddy ran in 1980, or I could when his father, Bobby Kennedy, ran in 1968. He died, unfortunately. He was assassinated in 1968, so he never really got very far as running for president.
Yeah.
But now, but Ted Kennedy, he was saying all this crazy stuff, how he found a dead bear and put it in a park or something. He said how he had an operation on his brain and they found a dead worm. But that was kid stuff compared to his views on. He had these crazy views on vaccinations and everything. So this is the last time you'll see any Kennedy for president stuff going on here. Well, I think he's going to endorse Trump. So he was. If he ran, he probably would have taken votes away from Trump because a lot of the Trump people, like the Democrats, didn't care for him too much. Even though he had the most Democratic name of them all, Kennedy. But he's an independent. Everyone says they're an independent, but they're not really. They always tend to vote the same way all the time.
Yeah.
If they keep with politics and everything. But anyway, I'm just hoping that whoever gets elected will get tough on release the hostages in Gaza, help and try to put an end to it. I'm very pro-Israel, and I'm a citizen of Israel. I'm a citizen
I'm
of
for Israel.
yeah. Well, anyone. I mean, that's awful. What's going on there? But anyway, I was at a bookstore. Okay, and no, I was at a restaurant. I think I told this story before. I'll tell it again. And I'm just having a good time at this restaurant and all. And I get up to leave. I'm with friends of mine, and I see a flag, and it really bums me out. It's this flag right here. Okay, now this flag is the okay. It looks like the Palestinian flag, the Queers for Palestine flag. And so I said, I can't eat. And I didn't tell anyone this. I can't eat at this restaurant anymore. So I found a reason next month or so not to eat at this restaurant because I see this flag. And then I go somewhere else. I go to a few places, stores, not anything national like a Barnes and Noble or Walmart, but you see these like in local stuff. And the Palestinian flag to me is not just anti-Israel. Israel is part of being Jewish, all right. And when people say I don't, there's a group in the world that wants us all dead, all Jews dead, and it hasn't, and it's been that way for the last at least 2,000 years, maybe 6,000 years. We've always had rough times in Egypt with Moses. Read your Bible. The Old Testament is full of Jews. So what happened was, um, so I tried to rationalize. So I saw it somewhere else, this flag, and I looked it up, and it's not a Palestinian. It looks like the Palestinian flag. The Palestinian flag is, but I looked up that there's this group called Queers for Palestine, and what they do is they believe that because they feel that the Palestinians are dark and the Jews tend to be white, that whatever we do, and we're smart, and we're a good army, and we're good technology, and everything's going well,
Yeah.
left to Jewish people's own devices, we we run our own country. It's the best run country in the world. That they think that we're the bad guys and they're the good guys, but their main view is to kill all the Jews from the, what do they call it, from the river to the sea, the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. That's happened in the Yom Kippur War and in the 6 Day War, and in a lot of these wars. All those countries, with the exception of Syria, Lebanon, and certainly Iran. They almost all those countries have peace agreements with Israel now because they don't want to. They got tired of beating Israel's ass. They lost so many people that they stopped. That they now have peace agreements, and they are the best country to have a peace agreement with. So that's why those countries aren't really lifting a finger in helping the Gazans. So anyway, I go on and on and on. So there's this group called, now let me just talk about the Queers for Palestine. These gay people, you see them protesting, and they wouldn't last 5 minutes in Gaza. Homosexuality is against the law there. I joke that they're going to build a tower for them if they ever took over, because that they need a high altitude to throw them off of, because that's how they feel about the people, that the very small-minded college students and ultra liberals, and of course these queers from Palestine. So I see this thing, and I found out that this is an old flag. It's been around. It looks kind of like the Palestinian flag, but it's actually a gay pride flag, and it's a good flag. So if you see this flag and you're Jewish, don't immediately think it's anti-Semitic. It is pro-gay, which is there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you saw Seinfeld or something. So that's what's going on there. So anyway, so so those are the things I've been checking out. So, and also I've been oh, you're gonna love what happened to me. This is really funny. I've been very busy um, um, working and enjoying the summer, swimming, getting in shape, entertaining friends, all that stuff. And cars. I have a car like a lot of people, and the, your car, like what does your dad or yourself keep in the trunk of your car?
Like keeping the trunk car.
The back of the car where you put stuff in, the haul things around it.
Oh,
What do you usually keep? Like a spare tire, or a jack,
we got fire extinguisher.
fire extinguishers. Yeah. Okay. So what I had, and I had a lot of candy, a lot of popcorn and peanuts. What else I have? Bathing suits. I had towels. I had sporting goods equipment, baseball mitt. If anyone wants, if I ever want to join a soccer game, I got my mitt. Baseball bat, balls. I used to have football back there, basketball. All this stuff. And I also had. You're gonna love this. I also had a, uh, a plastic bottle of motor oil. So in case I needed motor oil, I'm out in the sticks or something, or at least I could fill the engine with motor oil and then get to a gas station. Power steering fluid, all this stuff. So I had this motor oil, and one day, I mentioned all the stuff I had. It started to get kind of deep, and I noticed at the bottom everything. It was like an oil slick down there, and I said, "Oh, the thing burst open or leaked. I don't know what happened. It leaked, and there was oil all over the bottom of my trunk. So, so I said, well, I can't clean it up now. I'll do it tomorrow. So the next day, I parked in a lot and I took everything out and got boxes and put the stuff in. Some stuff I threw out, like towels with big stains on them. I couldn't really keep those, but I could. But certain things I could keep, and expensive things. I have magazines. I had magazines to read. They're all covered in oil. Had to throw those out. Food. Well, if there were plastic bottles of water, I could wash those off. Shows you how they don't like to throw anything out. So I took everything out, and then I didn't realize there's a liner. It was a plastic liner in my trunk, and that was had oil spots all over it. So I said, well, I'll take that inside and we'll take a hose to it, let it bake outside and clean it up and everything. So here I have everything in maybe 2 or 3 boxes, big boxes. I have the liner, I actually had to wash it in my bathtub because I didn't really have a garden hose to do it. So then what happened was, I lifted up this liner, and there was a carpeting. There was a carpeting which was untouched because the liner protected the carpeting. I said, oh, okay, that's good. That didn't get stains on that. Because once you get stains on that, there's nothing. But then I noticed there was a little latch. There was a little drawer there or something, like a trap door. I lifted up. You know what I found in there? I found a spare tire I did not know I had. I've been driving this car for like at least 5 years, and I did not know there was a spare tire in my car, because it was down in this hatch with a thing on it, and then a plastic thing on top of it, and then all the stuff I piled up on top of it. And even when I bought the car, the owners, I said, does this come with a spare tire? And he said, no, it doesn't. It doesn't come with a spare tire. But perhaps he didn't know that there was a spare tire in there either. He said, but your tires are really good. I said, what do you mean they're good? Because if you get them flat, you can still drive on them. And then Pat, I said, really? They invented tires that do that? He goes, yeah, believe it or not. It had been a while since I've actually had a kind of a modern car. Most of my that was actually born in this. That was actually made in this century. So made in this millennium. So now I have a spare tire. Now let me tell you something about cars, and I'm actually very. I'm not a man of that many talents, but I do know how to change a tire. It's one of the few things I can do. I was actually very good at changing tires, meaning that when somebody had a flat tire, they would call me, and I'd come to wherever they were and change the tire, and then I'd be the hero. Now, I did have a flat tire, and I had to call a tow truck because I didn't have a spare tire. Had I known there was a spare tire in the bowels of my trunk, one of the last cars I had didn't even have a trunk. It was it's called a hatchback. You just open the back, and you get the back of the seat. But everything important was saved, and now I have a spare tire I didn't know I had. Who'd have thunk it? And so now I'm ready. Oh, by the way, if you ever change the tire, I had a flat tire probably 30 years ago, and I pretty much had there was no YouTube or anything video how to do it. I just basically had to figure out how to do it, and every time you change a tire, it's like, it doesn't matter whether you do it well or not. If you just a regular person with a jack and a bolt thing and a tire, this it's almost like doing it the first time. Oh, do it this way, that way. How am I going to get this? Where did my bolts go? And you figure out these things. You put the bolts in the hubcap, but I don't think my car has hubcaps. I think it just has a nice rim that looks like a hubcap. So so finally now I could do something as a with cars that's now the envy of my friends. So anyway, thanks for having me here. I think we should do another half of the show. How about that?
Well, I'm going to take a break first.
Okay.
Okay. God bless